Hey, how's it going, guys? I got an email today with a ton of questions in it, and I figured I would shoot a quick video answering these questions because I'm sure this person is not the only person that has these types of questions. And so I'm going to go over these questions. I haven't prepared like a presentation or anything. I'm just going to read the question and answer it for you. And hopefully this helps this person as well as other people that may have these same questions. So let's go through this. Question number one. I was told that you shouldn't get into this business if you can't do structured buyouts. Do you do this? No, I do not use structured buyouts. Do you use assignments, limited power of attorneys, and contingency fee agreements? I've used all of those methods, yes. There was a case where I did do kind of a structured buyout, but if you are a beginner, I do not advocate doing a structured buyout, because if you are a beginner and you are not sure how to perform the research on these cases, you can lose money very quickly. There's also, I've just found too that, there are definitely pros to doing structured buyouts. It can make you more competitive for the right person. But at the same time, I haven't really lost. I can think of one case, maybe two, that I lost because I wasn't willing to do a structured buyout. All of my other cases I've been able to secure without putting up my own money up front or someone else's money. So my experience has been this. If I don't have to risk my own money to do the deal, then I'm not going to. And that's me. That's just my take on it. But if you can do a structured buyout, if you have extra cash and it makes you competitive, awesome. You get great returns on your money. But here's the other thing. I get infinite returns on my money. And what do I mean by that? Meaning, if I don't have any money up front in a deal and I make $4,000, $5,000, $6,000, whatever on the back end, take 0 divided by your profit. And what do you get? You'll probably get an error message on your calculator because there is no sign for an infinite return. I'm basically just putting my time into the deal. Sometimes I have to pay money up front to my attorneys, but a lot of times I work out a contingency agreement or I just pay them on the back end. So that's another reason I don't do structured buyouts, is because even though the returns are good, if I don't put any money into the deal, then the return is excellent. So that's why I don't do structured buyouts. Less risk and better returns. Let's see. Do you think the other guys / experts in this business, such as so-and-so, so-and-so, have the most market share in this business? I don't think so, but I don't know. And at the end of the day, I don't really care. And the reason I say that is there's not enough time in the day for you to focus on what your competitor is doing. While it is good to be aware of your competitors, if you're focused so much on what they're doing, you're taking time away from your business and doing what you should be doing to make profit in your business and serving people in your business. So, in my opinion, there is plenty to go around, and that's been my experience. So, I can't really say how much market share another individual has in this business. How many states are available in real estate tax overages? So they specifically said tax overages. There are 14 states that I know of that you cannot do tax overages. However, that is constantly changing. For example, Michigan used to be one of those states where you could not do tax sale overages. However, just recently this year, a case in the Supreme Court in Michigan was passed where the counties now have to give back the overages to the homeowner. So Michigan, Prior to this year was a state we could not work in on tax overages, but it's looking like in the future, it might take a couple more years, but that's going to be a state that we'll be able to do business in. So that is constantly changing. As far as mortgage overages go, as far as I know, you can do mortgage overages in all 50 states. I see so-and-so doing very large marketing campaigns. Do you think this business is going to become saturated? Great question. I do not think this business will be saturated. One, because it has been my experience, so I've done wholesaling in real estate. I've been a real estate agent. Overages by far is the least competitive at this point in time. But it is also, it's a tough business. I mean, the concept is very simple, but it's very hard to execute this business. What I have found is most people in this business do not do it full time. It is mostly people that are doing it part-time as a side hustle. And because of that, they do not treat it as a business. They treat it as a hobby. It's also, people get into it thinking that it's going to be easy because the concept is simple, right? We're helping people recover from money. But to pull that off, there's a lot of things that you have to do. There's a lot of obstacles you have to overcome, researching, cold calling, contacting people, finding people. And it can be a grind. And most people aren't willing to do the grind. And so because of the amount of work it takes, I think that provides a barrier to where people just quit. And I've seen that often. Even my own students, I did a video where I compared two of my students. They each were working the same lead, and one had success and one didn't. And I go over why that is. And it's just because one was willing to do more work than the other. And so because of the work that is involved, I don't think this business will become saturated. So-and-so does structured buyouts, so I'm sure he has a very large market share in the business. Am I right? No idea. I think I talked about that already. I have no idea, and frankly don't care, because I'm focused on doing what I need to do in my business. I'm not focused on what my competitors are doing. I'm aware of what they're doing, but I don't spend a lot of time seeing how many deals they're doing and what states they're in. It's just a waste of time. Among other experts, okay, that's not a question. Here's a good one. I get this a lot. If I put in 10 hours a day, 50 hours a week, how many deals do you think I could do in a week? Depends. How good are you on the phone? Also, what are you doing during those 10 hours? Are you cold calling those whole 10 hours? Or are you mostly doing research, finding leads, skip tracing? The question is, I can't really answer this question because I don't know what are you doing in those 10 hours. If you're cold calling those 10 hours, 50 hours a week, you could get a lot of deals for sure. I'll be honest, when I first quit my job and was working this part-time, I was probably working 30 to 40 hours a week. And, I think I averaged, my first year, I probably only averaged 2 or 3 deals a month. But that was plenty for me. So I don't know how many deals that you would get. It just depends. What are you doing in those 10 hours? If you're skip tracing 9 hours, only calling 1 hour a day, you may not get any deals that whole week. This is another problem that I see people committing is they focus so much on the research that they never get to actually calling people. So it just depends, what are you doing with those hours? Next question. Let's say it takes 3 to 4 months to get paid out on the first deal. How many deals with this kind of time invested do you think I could have in the pipeline? Again, I have no idea because I don't know what your experience is on the phone. how are you spending those 10 hours a day if you're working 10 hours a day? If the majority of your time is doing research, you're not going to get a lot of deals. If the majority of your time is contacting people, you're going to get deals. Do you know how many people that actually purchased your course are working it? And what is the average time somebody that buys your course is working it? Great question. I have over 500 students right now, but I would say actually the majority are, I don't know how many people are actively working that business today, because they don't tell me what they're doing every day. So I don't know. I do know that people are getting results. I talked to a student today. She just got her first signed contract. Another student in my Facebook group last week just got a check for over $50K. Now that wasn't her full amount, but that was her first deal. She recovered over $50,000. One of my students has made well over $30K since he bought the course less than a year ago. So people are seeing results from the course. I do know that. What do you find easier, tax overages or mortgage foreclosure overages? They both have their pros and cons. I don't think one is easier than the other. Mortgage foreclosures usually are court-held funds, so you definitely want to use an attorney. But even with the tax sale overages, I like to use attorneys. I will say this. It is easier to find leads for tax sale overages than it is mortgage overages. But because it's easier to find leads, there's usually more people working tax overages than there are mortgage overages. So there's a trade-off there. What pays out the fastest, tax overages or mortgage overages? I don't think either one pays out faster than the other. It depends on the state. The fastest I've ever seen and experienced was about 60 days, and that was just because of kind of a fluke, or the judge actually didn't follow the proper procedures and actually approved our claim earlier than she should have, but it is what it is. Most of my deals, whether they're tax or mortgage overages, take 3 to 4 months to pay out. I think that's it. That's not really a question. Okay, I think that's it. So those are the questions. Hopefully, so I'm just going to send this person this video, and then hopefully if you had those same questions, that those questions have now been answered. If you have multiple questions, put them down in the comments below. If you guys are ready to get started, you can go to school.overagecourse.com, where I teach you how to do tax and mortgage overages and how you can start profiting from doing those deals today. And that's all I have for you. Thanks, guys.